Hello there, and welcome back to the Nerdman Podcast. My name is Hayden. I'm here as per usual.
Kenobi.
Shut up with...
Why do I always have to go first?
Alright, well, this one.
Aaron.
And...
Victoria.
Yeah.
I'm back from the void.
We let him back in.
I screamed into the void for 2 solid weeks.
He did. He's not lying.
The void answered.
He really did do that.
The void screamed back.
What did it say?
This makes sense.
What else do you think it said, Hayden? I said it
I don't
screamed
know.
back.
It's a void. I've never talked to the void before.
It speaks a different, it doesn't speak with vocal cords. You know what I mean?
It just makes noise.
It doesn't have vocal cords.
It's just
to speak with.
It's
like a rattling in your head.
Oh.
It could have been saying words for all I know. I just thought it was screaming because I was screaming.
Oh.
And when you scream at a person long enough, they just scream back.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Is that true?
I'm a very quiet person outside of this podcast, so I have no idea.
I don't usually scream at people.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Why are we here?
Well, for those of y'all that have not watched this before, me and Hayden created a 128-seat tournament using Star Wars characters, specifically Jedi, Sith, and people who are good enough to handle a Jedi and or Sith. I used the blaster joke last time.
No, that was Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria Secunda.
Special guest last week. Special guest last week.
Who know? Victoria Secunda is now in the void.
Who put him back?
put him back where we got him. Into the void. What are
you doing?
Me and Hayden present characters.
Living.
We argue. Victoria renders the final judgment.
She's over there living.
Yeah,
with the paint mood.
It's fun.
It's the most work she's going to do in this podcast today.
Anyway, today we have Kylo Ren versus Qui Gon Jinn.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
You want to talk about it on YouTube?
On air?
No.
Okay.
I just want to take a shower and sleep.
All right, we'll try and make this as quick as we can. I know what that means. Absolutely jack shit to you.
But that would mean 2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours is quick, right? It's only 9:45.
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get.
All right. Well, I mean, there is that one thing I told you guys about for one of my guys today. So.
Oh yeah, you have to tell them though.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Aaron do his talky thing first.
No, okay.
Because they don't complain. Kylo Ren versus Qui Gon Jinn.
He will complain.
I'm good at complaining.
He's gonna complain regardless, though. So
I'm a good complainer. Thexan versus Elzar Mann. Darth Revan versus Ulic Qel-Dromma. And Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Vectivus.
Yes.
Would you like to start with? Might as well start with that one.
I have Darth Vectivus. All right. Aaron has talked about this guy in the past. Right. He was the Sith that died
a peaceful
death. Surrounded by family and friends. And then the one Sith later on hated him for it because he was peaceful and didn't try to take over the galaxy or kill anybody.
Mellow.
And there was something I read during my research. Let me just see who they beat the first round. Geen, who showed up exactly once and got wasted. I feel that it is my duty as a fair judge of
You're
fighting.
Not a judge.
Yeah, you don't judge anyone.
You're not the judge.
That's not your
job.
You're
the lawyer.
I'm withdrawing Darth Vectivus from this fight. I am waving the white flag.
You're going to have to give it the reason now.
Yeah.
This is because my guy, even as a Force ghost, didn't want to hurt anything. He didn't want to cause anything pain. So
even if the thing attacked him first.
He had a strong moral complex.
Yeah, he was very, I don't want to cause anybody pain.
Is it kind of like it's not to the same level as Batman, but it's kind of like the Batman thing of I don't want to hurt. I don't want to kill once because then I won't be able to stop.
Kinda, yeah. Especially with the dark side.
Yeah, so it's like adding to that temptation.
Yeah, so white flag being waved for the second time in this podcast. For some reason, it's been me both times.
Yeah, because I'm ride or die with my character.
I will cede this matchup to Ahsoka
Okay, that's fine with me. Moving on. Next fight.
I'm kind of down because of that, because I prepared a full
you
thing to
can-
like put him in the
You
ground.
can wait because she'll probably fight Obi-Wan Kenobi next time. So
that's good.
Next fight.
next fight.
Next fight.
That was so easy. Good job, everybody.
Thank you. I'm really good at my job.
Congratulations. Good work.
Thexan versus Elzar Mann.
All right. This one I also didn't do any
Actually-
research on.
I'm first on this one.
Oh God.
You admitted to not doing. Just shush.
It's Thexan. That's Arcan's twin brother. They have very similar powers. Just he killed him in a fit of dark side rage.
Okay, let Aaron talk.
I have Elzar Mann. We talked about him before. He was he's basically the Anakin of the High Republic, and he's constantly talked about as being a very attractive man. Like the kind of
You felt the need to mention that?
they
said it
they
last
felt the
time,
need.
too.
They
Did
felt
he?
the need.
Yeah.
They feel the need to mention it all the time. Whenever they first whenever a first person talks about him that's not a Jedi and therefore not celibate, they immediately say that he looks like somebody that's in the Star Wars version of a soap drama.
Move on.
As a Padawan in the Jedi Order, he formed a close relationship with Avar Kriss and Stellan Gios. Stellan Gios being the Obi-Wan of the High Republic, and the
Except
three.
he's dead.
I should also mention at this point because Hayden's very rude, and we always do this.
Are you gonna spoiler alert? It's too late.
I'm going to continue with the spoiler alert. So, spoiler alert for all three of the High Republic books that are adults: Light of the Jedi, Rising Storm, and Fallen Star. Spoiler alert! Major spoiler alert for those. Please just fast forward. Just keep pressing the 10
We're already
second button.
here.
Yeah.
Keep pressing the 10-second button, and then
Go on.
we'll get there. They described themselves as a constellation. Whenever he became a knight, he ended his relationship with Avar Kriss.
He did not.
Avar tried to.
Yeah, they tried to, but he's definitely got still in his feels.
Yeah, he can't get rid of the feelings.
He
Avar
really
trying. There's like a
in-
hint that it's still there, but she's really trying to.
He's like obsessed with her. I feel like.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this kind of not really letting go thing also kind of fuels into the fact that those two become Jedi Masters and not him, because he's not like fully committed to the Jedi kind of way, because he has an attachment to Stellan and Avar.
The Jedi aren't supposed to have, but always seem to have.
The attachments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never supposed to have an attachment if you're a Jedi, but they always seem to have attachments.
That's the hardest thing. The detachment is the hardest thing to do.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Especially when you're getting trained by like one master. Your entire from 14 at the older part of the Padawans at 14. Some of them like 12 in that lower age. All the way through to like 20
Ish.
Yeah, Obi-Wan was like 15 to 25.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was like when you're being trained by one person and around that person constantly for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it makes sense that you'd be attached.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in that time period, I feel like all of them have attachments though.
I feel
Like they're all like, it's like a freaking soap opera, dude.
with Elzar, yeah.
When the main character is Bel Zettifar, who is obsessed with his former master, apparently if you ask the writer, he just cannot get past that.
Well, I don't blame him for not getting past that, because his master did like disappear and then reappear and then die right in front of him, and he was there for like a year, just convincing himself that he was dead when he still felt him. That's traumatic.
I mean,
I don't blame
that's
him for
pretty
not
traumatic.
moving
He's
past
not
all that.
wrong about it. It's traumatic.
Yeah, I don't
You
blame
would
Bell
find
for
it
not
to
letting
be
go of that.
traumatic.
And plus, Bell's only 17, so
Yeah, man's only 17.
it's a very formative time of his life, and where trauma can really hit him hard.
Move on.
Yeah, I'm not even halfway through this.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He became known for being very unorthodox, like Anakin. He actually coined the term mind trick, because it used to be called the Mind Touch, and Elzar thought it sounded more honest if they called it a mind trick. Because
you're not just touching the mind.
You're tricking somebody into doing something you want them to do.
That makes sense.
And he thought that it wouldn't. It's better if we just told them the truth about what we're doing.
Tricking them.
Yeah, not just touching them. Not like being gentle about it. Being,
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Don't
and then
lie.
that stuck.
You be tricking them.
Yeah. He also used it. He used it a lot too. More than the council would like him to do.
Well, I mean, he told the truth about it, so.
Yeah. He helped respond to the Great Disaster and helped Avar investigate the Great Disaster afterwards. He distanced himself after having a horrible vision of several Jedi dying. On Valo, he gave into the dark side, and later, to atone for this, trained under Orla Jareni. Learned to control it on Starlight Beacon, one of the 2 confirmed Jedi to survive the wreckage, and felt responsible for the death of
one of the only 2.
One of 2 confirmed in the book to survive.
Who's the other one, Aaron?
Bel Zettifar.
Bel Zettifar. Yay. We love ourselves some Bel Zettifar on this podcast.
It's very obvious.
Do you not?
That's awesome.
I think he's cool.
He has a dog.
That's unacceptable.
Reminder that he has a dog.
He has the dog.
He's best friends with the Wookiee.
That's cool.
He's best friends with Buriaga.
I think all of these things are great.
What's wrong with you?
I want a shower.
Bel Zettifar is amazing.
Yeah, moving on to the feats here. Avar credited Elzar that without him, moving the Tabana gas, moving at light speed, would have been impossible.
Well, I think it was actually like without everybody being involved.
No, she specifically said without him.
All right, listen here.
Without him, it's involved.
Listen, everybody was involved. Even Yoda was involved in that. You saying that without Yoda's thing, it wouldn't have mattered?
Yes.
No.
That's technically what she was saying.
She is being nice to him. Did she say that to him?
She said that to introduce him to, I think, the Santekas. Or to that guy.
She was just being nice, setting a good tone for the man.
Either way,
I just to remind you, they used to have the sex, so
they did.
You're like, she's a little biased.
She's a little biased.
Either way, that shows that he's set apart from the other Jedi of this time period.
He was the only one there, yeah, and that's the only thing that sets him apart. He was the only one that needed to be introduced. If Yoda showed up, you need to introduce Yoda?
That's true.
That's also because Yoda at that time was 500 years old.
It's still Yoda.
That's exactly my point.
Bro, Qui Gon Jinn, later on, doesn't have to be introduced. People know who he is. And that's Qui Gon Jinn.
It's a legacy thing.
Bruh.
With Avar, he was able to create a rainstorm in the Force by gathering all of the water particles in the air. He destroyed several Nihil ships by tapping into the dark side of the Force and throwing a giant hover platform and just destroying like an entire squadron of Nihil ships. After he cut himself off from the dark side again, he helped influence a Sandville, which is a dragon. No getting around that; it's just a dragon. And he influenced the Sandville and was able to ride it against Nihil ships. During that, he was able to destroy several Nihil ships with his lightsaber throws.
Are you singing?
One of his mind tricks was able to make someone forget that he was even there.
I wish I could do that.
Ow. Whenever his Force ghost met Luke Skywalker, he said that, I must be dead. Because if I was alive, you would know who I am.
Well, since he said that, why did she feel the need to introduce him?
Oh.
Because he's still, in his late 20s.
It wasn't that good of a burn.
I
know.
He's still in his late 20s. Qui-Gon, you said later in Qui-Gon's. When he was in his 40s and 50s.
He died when he was 48.
That was 40. In his 40s and stuff.
You watch yourself.
Anyway, part of his meditation to atone for the dark side was to do a handstand in frigid waves that like and have to like hold the handstand during those waves that are like coming to here all the way to covering his body.
Did an eagle land on his seat? Hello.
Where are you going with this?
I feel like he's just
Downtown.
throwing random stuff.
Oh.
Do a handstand, the eagle lands on my seat. Hello.
No.
And a kickstand ain't free.
Do
Do you not want to ride with me?
I do remember that. I remember that now. I don't remember that specific verse. Anyway, he was also able to fight 2 Rathtars at once. That was like from Force Awakens. Tell me you're not hauling Rathtars. I'm hauling Rathtars.
The
That Han's on Han Solo's ship. That
Move
like,
on.
went wild.
She's lost.
Okay. He also drawed on his positive emotions to open massive hangar doors by himself and let out the rest of the people from Starlight Beacon.
You done?
Yes, that's the last thing.
I have Thexan, twin brother of Arcan.
Oh, yeah.
They are equals in the Force and in power.
Wait, which one died again?
Thexan.
Cool.
The one
So Arcan dipped into the dark side. and
Technically,
used
they
it.
both died. Technically, everyone here died.
Thanks, Aaron. That helped.
Thexan was killed by Arcan because Arcan dipped into the dark side of the Force. But Thexan, I think, is like the older one who was favored the entire time they were growing up. That's why Arcan was just like he got fed up with Vitiate.
Thexan's also the one that was supposed to be using the dark side.
Supposed to be using the dark side, but he was clearly the light side twin.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's very compassionate.
Yeah, but he and his brother, like, we already know what his brother did. I can rehash that stuff, or you can go back and watch last week's episode.
Just go back and watch last week's episode.
Do you
easier.
remember what Arcan did? You remember the part where he could set people on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thexan can do that too. So, he also just completely wasted entire armies of Sith
Is
with
he
his brother.
a good duelist as well?
Yes.
Okay.
He only
You
lost to
gotta-
his brother because he was surprised that Arcan turned on him.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because weren't they like standing there?
They were like
next to each
kneeling.
They were both
and then
kneeling,
Yeah.
and Arcan went
jumped.
after.
Thexan pulled him back with the
Yeah.
Force, and then Arcan, like in a blind rage, attacked Thexan,
Yeah.
and Thexan was just like caught off guard. So that's how that happened.
And then Arcan was like, oh no.
Yeah, Arcan like slashed him, cut him like right here, I think.
Yeah.
And then like he like came out of the fog, and then Thexan died in his arms.
Yeah.
And then Vitiate held a hand out to him. And that's the most affection that Vitiate's ever showed anybody.
But it wasn't affection.
No.
It was like, oh,
it's just
good,
like-
finally one of you killed the other one.
It was straight gaslighting.
That's what it was. That's what he was
Yeah.
wanting one of them to eventually kill the other one, so there'd
Yeah.
only be one, so that we'd have the stronger one.
Mhm.
So I guess you could say the Arcan is technically the stronger one, but only because he dipped into the dark side in a blind rage.
I want to replay that back, please.
Thexan would go right there, so they would eventually have to fight
Yeah.
in the round of
Wait.
16, and that one would be pretty easy.
Just quoting there. Arcan is the stronger one.
Yes. Of the 2 eternal twins?
So,
Are you kidding me?
Thexan's the
All right,
weak
do you have a
one.
winner? Or do you have any questions?
No.
Do you have a winner?
Yeah.
Who's the
We'll go with Thexan.
Thexan? Yeah, that one was pretty.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we're gonna quickly run out of High Republic Jedi.
They're new.
They don't have a lot of stuff. It's hard.
Thexan.
They started in 2020.
Oh, I'm gonna show you. This is my page for Vectivus. I did actual research for Vectivus, but
That's great. You did your job.
do you see what is written up there at the top?
Give up.
I decided to
You
do
had
that
a-
after I did all the research. So
You put a quit button in
yeah, I
your
did. I
notes.
was like, that's enough.
Okay.
Enough of that one. We do the Revan one next.
The Revan one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me.
Revan versus Ulic Qel-Dromma.
Yeah, trust me.
I'm going first.
Yeah,
so.
you do that.
I have Ulic Qel-Dromma. In Legends, basically, he was the main Sith after Luke Skywalker. In the period afterward.
The one Sith?
No, the other part of that. I think this was after that.
Dude, that guy, and then whoever the other guy is, what is that other dude's name? Exar Kun? I have no idea when they took place.
It was afterwards.
No idea. Nothing.
This Ulic Qel-Dromma is the apprentice
Big
to
Red go
Exar
down.
Kun.
But where's Beetle?
Beetle's over there.
Over there.
Oh.
They gotta rotate.
Would you like Aaron to
Keep
grab
it
Beetle?
fresh.
I mean,
Does Beetle make you feel safe?
this one's okay.
What's wrong with Horseface Thor?
It's kind of scary.
This guy is stronger than Thor.
Oh.
And he actually is worthy because he defeated Thor in a
Why
hand-to-hand
wasn't he
fight.
on our tournament last year?
Because we're dumb. Because we're dumb as hell.
Okay, fair.
Oh, yeah. No, continue.
I mean,
Aaron,
Moon
I'm
Knight
sorry.
also wasn't.
That's true.
Moon Knight's.
Moon Knight can wield Mjolnir
That's okay.
and used it against Thor.
Anyway,
So Thor still would have died.
He would have died to somebody. It just happened to be
not
Hercules.
Hercules.
Well, he
It
died
happened.
to
It
Hercules.
happened.
I held to that.
Okay, it happened. All right. He lost to Hercules. Move on.
Ulic Qel-Dromma. He was a Jedi in the Old Republic.
You wrote it down?
I wrote it down the first time I did this. I could have sworn he and Exar Kun take place after Luke. I'm very confused about.
I'm borrowing your phone. Unlock your thing.
I am a canon lore kind of person. I'm a very
The
lore
heck you
person.
looking at on here? What is
You
that?
asked me about Tauret. I don't know how to say it.
Weirdness.
You asked me about the Egyptian hip. You're
What
the
is
one
that?
that asked
What
about
is that?
You're the one that asked about the Egyptian hippo goddess, the goddess of fertility,
Yeah.
and then one of the gods of the Nile. Hayden had many questions.
How do you spell your guy's name? Ulic.
Yaddle's gonna be jealous.
Oh.
Ulic Qel-Dromma.
I got it. I looked it up.
Ulic.
I looked it up. He has a terrible picture on here. Did you see it? Look at that. It's like
jawline.
why is his cheekbone so large on one half of his face?
Anyway, he was sent to Onderon in a war against the Sith worshipping people of somebody else that's been on here at some point. I can't remember who it was. Who was that? Eventually, he and several Jedi were able to get him away from that, get him out of there. And this was before. Get him out of there! We're able to exile him off of Onderon. Freedon Nad, that's who it is. And then later he decided
is he
to
a Jedi?
At first, yes.
Okay.
Then he's the Sith apprentice. He decided to pull a Quinlan Voss and infiltrate a cult to overthrow them from the inside. And then just like Quinlan Voss, it went terribly wrong. And then he became a member of the cult.
Even on
He became the leader of the
Wikipedia-
cult.
Even on Wikipedia,
Okay.
I cannot find where he took place.
Oh my God. It's so confusing.
Oh, there it is. 3986 BBY is when he died.
Okay, so like Old Republic.
Yeah, I think that's before Revan.
Yeah, that's like before the Old Republic that we know, the Knights of the Old Republic. Anyway, he joined that cult and did all of that and became into the dark side. He later tried to kill Exar Kun, and
How'd that go?
Freedon Nad interceded and told them, "Hey, you two, you're Sith now."
Oh, okay.
And
You
then
do
they
bad things,
became
you
Sith.
become Sith.
Exar Kun became the master. Dromma became the apprentice. He later, both of them went to basically pull the stereotypical Sith purge of the Jedi in a very violent means of this time period. Whenever he killed his Jedi brother, Nomi Sunrider severed his connection to the Force.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's from that.
She went full Avatar on him?
Yeah, like Aang and Ozai.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, he helped the Jedi stop Exar Kun and went into exile. Eventually trained Nomi Sunrider's daughter, and he was killed by a pilot who wanted to have his name in the history books.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Dude, old
Had a
Republic,
terrible
like
death.
pre-Old Republic,
Mm.
Star Wars is nuts.
Wild.
It's crazy in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are actual dragons back then too.
Well, there's actual dragons in the High Republic.
What the hell?
The
You're right.
Look. Okay.
But I remember seeing a picture.
Look up a Sandval.
Vol.
Sandval. All one word. He's form 5 as a yellow greenish lightsaber.
Yellowish green. It says Tusken Raider.
No.
Sandcrawler?
Wikipedia? What are you doing? It's a V.
Oh, it's the thingy.
No, go back. It's San, VAL.
VAL?
Yes.
How was that clear by what you were telling me to look up?
San Vol.
Yeah, I could. I got that.
SANVAL.
Those are the pictures of it.
Yes. That is a dragon.
That's what Elzar wrote.
Dragon.
I know. I see it.
Anyway,
Dragon.
It's blue.
he has standard force powers, along with full possession. Defeated the Mandalorian the Indomitable in a duel that he was supposed to lose, that it was rigged against him. And he was also not using a lightsaber. He was having to use Mandalorian weapons, and he was on Mandalore.
Are you done?
No.
Don't be rude.
He matched Exar Kun when they were both extremely powerful in their duel. After he was cut off from the Force and very aged, he was able to survive a large fall and buried in snow for several days. And it only said by sheer force of will. Which is a very vague answer.
That's so Sith of him.
Well, this is after he was a Jedi in everything but Force connection. This was when he was in exile and rehabilitating himself.
So his man's fallen apart and fell down a hill and was buried by snow.
Yeah, and he wasn't connected to the Force at this time.
Sadness.
He's having a tough time.
And then he got shot in the back.
What the? You're right.
Yeah.
Is that when he died?
When he got that, well, that was like months later. But he easily beat this random person.
He easily beat some random.
He easily beat a Jedi that was enhanced in battle armor, and Dromma was weakened. Oh
yeah.
And the last fight against the Jedi Master that really wanted to kill this guy, before he got shot in the back, Qel-Dromma, again, despite not being connected to the Force, would have won that fight, and was on the top of that fight until he got shot in the back.
Coward.
Okay.
Yeah, a cowardly move. He led 7 Jedi when he was over the Jedi the first time, against several dark side enhanced warriors. He was tortured for several hours until he used anger to break the restraints.
Oh, I thought you were going to say break his interrogators.
No.
He used the Force
I'm
to
sure
break them.
he might have done that. He might have did that afterward.
Yeah, this guy can do that.
He said he and Exar Kun would have killed each other if Freedon Nad did not interfere. He also has a Sith talisman, which is a pre-Knights of the Old Republic kind of thing. It's a Sith alchemy kind of tool that
Like a scepter with a sword in it?
Yes, except his
No, we're not bringing that back.
His is it enhances his power in the dark side of the Force and allows him to use it much greater. And he and Kun had it built into their gauntlets, so that they could, and they used it in their fights with their lightsabers, bounced between the two. And his was equal to Exar Kun's. Yeah. The power of that talisman was unmatched by any other dark side magic of this time period, I guess.
You did. Alright, I have Revan.
Okay.
I didn't even bother with the backstory on Revan. I just decided to give you a list of feats.
I want to get a big backstory. Do you need a backstory for
Do you
Revan?
need a backstory on Revan? Do
Nah,
you remember
it's
who
okay.
Revan is?
The red and purple lightsaber.
Yeah, with the mask that Kylo Ren's mask is based off of.
Yeah.
Into the Mando Wars.
Yes, single-handedly. Or he had
The
Malik,
other guy didn't matter.
but we've already killed Malik with Bel-Zetifar, so that was his apprentice dude.
Oh.
All right, who later became a Sith Lord, which I will explain more in a second. All right, so Revan. This is just power feats here, okay? In his time, when the best duelist in the galaxy existed, in the Knights of the Old Republic kind of era, he was unstoppable on the battlefield.
Wait, does Aaron agree with that?
It's One of them. They were really good duelists. The Clone Wars is all. I'm
Anytime
torn
there was a
between it
war,
and the Clone Wars.
anytime there was a war, the
They were
duelists
really
were
good
very
duelists.
good.
Okay.
And they were at war for thousands of years.
Yeah.
These people were. So they were pretty good at it.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can decisively say that
Because
this
Obi-Wan
one
is in the Clone Wars.
Obi-Wan
not
and Dooku
Yeah.
and Anakin.
Yeah. But Revan, at that time, possibly were the time with the best lightsaber duelist, was unstoppable on the battlefield. His nickname was Revan the Butcher.
Oh,
He completely decimated all of Mandalore, ended the Mandalorian Jedi War, basically single-handedly.
Wait, is that the super weapon?
Is he the super weapon?
Is Revan himself the super weapon?
No, I think the Starforge is the super weapon.
Okay. Whatever that is.
I'll bring it back up in a second.
Okay.
Completely decimated Mandalore. Mandalorians themselves
Did
regard
he literally
him.
Decimate Mandalore?
Yes,
Like a tenth of the population was killed?
it was up there, dude.
Or is it more than decimated?
He killed a lot of them.
Okay.
Mandalorians themselves regard him as the best warrior in the galaxy, saying that if he was born on Mandalore, they would be completely unstoppable. But he was not, so sorry.
They got stopped.
When he was on Korriban,
Hmm.
the homeworld of the Sith, right?
One of the major planets of the Sith.
Yeah, one of the Sith major planets. He slew 2 masters, Grand Masters of the Sith, at the same time. And every Sith acolyte and their masters. In that massacre, he did this by himself, mind you, by himself. That massacre was so drastic and crazy and hard to come back from. The Sith took 3,000 years to recover from it.
damn.
Okay?
You mean like the that led to the rule of 2?
I'm saying that was their main training facility.
Oh, okay. So this that was one of the things that led to the rule of 2.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
He killed so many of them that their ranks were down a lot.
Abysmal.
Yes. And he did that on his own. He stormed the Starforge, which was at that time under control of our friend over here, Darth Malak, his former apprentice, who was at that time the Sith Lord guy. What are they called? Dark Lords of the Sith.
The Dark Lord of the Sith is the main one.
Yeah, he had his own Sith empire at that time.
I'm guessing that's
No, that's what it said, was that he had a Sith empire.
Probably Dark Lord of the Sith then.
He stormed it single-handedly. And fought legions of Sith robots, which are they look kind of like what are those things
The
called?
Dark Troopers?
The rolly thingies. You know what I'm talking
Droidekas?
about? And they look kind of like that, but they're silver and they don't roll.
They don't have shields.
They don't have shields, but they do have 4 or 6 blasters. He defeated legions of those Sith droids, legions of Dark Jedi, and Sith apprentices before defeating Bastila Shan, whose last name should sound familiar.
Yeah.
Because that's Satele Shan's mom.
Okay.
And then killed Malak and ended his empire.
Oh.
He could predict wars and conflicts through the Force. You can see into the future. He could create something
Everybody has that.
He could create something called a thought bomb.
Wait, what?
A thought bomb, which is a mind bomb that he plants a thought in your mind and then it destroys literally blows up your mind.
They gotta come up with a better name.
I don't know that as a thought bomb. He was able to rip knowledge from entire cultures' languages and then replace them. So there was a species who spoke only their native language. He deleted that from their memory as a culture and then replaced it with basic, so he understood what they were saying.
That's imperialism.
That's so rude.
That is. That is.
And then lastly,
bad.
lastly,
That's so bad.
the last thing I have to say about this guy, he can teleport.
That's how you want to end it?
Yes, because nobody else can do that.
You said rumored on your notes.
Rumored that he can teleport. It was in the MMO.
Okay.
So technically he's canon, but it has only appeared in the MMO.
Okay.
But yeah, he can teleport through the Force. It's a Revan. You have any questions?
Both of these guys really went on that.
No.
They went on this, whenever they became Sith, they went on the same career path.
Did you give me a seed?
It fell in there by accident.
You didn't tell me?
I'm sorry.
I was like, there's something squishy in my tea. And there's just a giant lemon seed at the bottom.
That's what happens when you put lemon in your
Do
tea.
you have a question about Darth Revan or
No.
Ulic
They
Qel-Dromma?
went on the same. They went on the same career path. They both became Sith, and they decided, I'm just gonna purge the Jedi violently, very directly.
And then became Jedi again.
Yeah, and then helped the Jedi kill the other one.
Yeah. Well, Revan tried to destroy the Sith Empire on his own, but then got betrayed
Yeah,
and captured and tortured. And then died.
again,
Anyways,
we're
do you have
having
any
very
questions?
similar characters here.
You have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have a winner?
Yeah, let's go with Revan.
Revan. Teleport man.
Yeah. He
Hey.
just had a whole lot more things that he could do, but they were both very similar. But
We're moving along today. We have one more.
yeah,
This one's gonna be the hardest one,
let's go.
because this one is Kylo Ren versus Qui Gon Jinn.
Shower.
Adam
What are you doing?
Driver
Why did
versus
Now I
Liam
like it
Neeson.
when he looks at me.
Hayden.
I thought you didn't like what he looked like. You were scared of him.
Yeah. But if I don't look directly at him, it's like I have a comforter. Like I'm having to look.
Would it help if I told you that in his name is Ray and Bill?
Separately.
So you can call his name is Beta Ray Bill. So you can call him Ray,
Or Bill.
or you can call him Bill,
Okay.
or you can call him Beta if you really want.
I like Beta.
Beta. Or you could pretend he's like a southern guy and call him Beta Ray.
I like Beta.
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 It sounds like feta, and I like fettuccine alfredo.
Okay. Don't argue with it.
Alright.
I think
You think what?
I was gonna say something. I don't know.
He doesn't think.
What is his? Is his first? What is his actual first name? Where's the
Beta?
dividing line on his?
It's Beta-Ray, I think.
Is it Ray Bill?
No, it's not Ray Bill. I think it's Beta Ray. And then so that means his family name is Bill. He comes from the Bill family.
There's no hyphen. It's just Beta Ray Bill.
So yeah, he comes from the Bill family.
Oh.
Or is it he come from the Beta family? Or does he come from the Ray family?
I don't know what the
'Cause those are
nomenclature
all
is, okay?
naming
I don't know
systems.
how you name
Those
how
are
that
all
his
naming
culture does
systems.
it. But he is not even in Star Wars. So I feel like we're spending way too much time on this.
That's true. You're right.
Can I move on?
Go ahead.
All right.
Originally, they were going to call him Beta Ray Jones.
Oh god, that's way worse.
Yeah.
I prefer
So I
the
think,
Bill.
I think Bill is his last name.
Bill. The last name is that Bill? Is it William? It's just short for William.
No, it's
Beta Ray
it's
Williams.
just
Beta Ray William Jr.
What if Beta is short for something too?
I thought we were moving on.
Bernard.
Bettany Ray Bill.
Bettany.
Bettany Ray William.
Why are you saying Bettany? Isn't it Bethany?
No, but he's a man.
No, I was
He's
thinking
married.
of like Paul Bettany.
Oh.
That's also a last name, though.
I understand.
Qui Gon Jinn. Qui Gon Jinn was Yoda's master as a Force ghost.
Okay.
Qui Gon Jinn did not complete his training, so he
Yoda's
reached out
master
to
as a
Yoda.
Force ghost.
He reached out to Yoda to help
Do you
him
mind?
get on the path to complete his
you
training
mind?
to become a Force ghost.
No.
Qui Gon Jinn could not manifest in person. He
was
could only
Yoda's
be a
master as
disembodied
Force
space
ghost.
voice.
He was also known as a maverick among the Jedi.
Goals.
Followed the Force rather than the Council. He was very sensitive to the Force. It's going to pick up here, I promise.
Okay.
All this stuff is just kind of like
Filler.
my knowledge until I did a deeper dive. All right, Dooku had to be wary of Obi-Wan and Anakin's power since they had learned from Qui-Gon.
Dooku trained Qui-Gon.
Yeah, he was his master.
Oh.
One of the best, this is a quote now,
Okay.
One of the best pure swordsmen in the Order had ever seen.
So he good duelist.
Good with sword.
So what's the context
Okay.
on that?
I don't know. I just wrote down the thingy.
Dubious.
Shut up.
Dubious context.
You're dubious. He was the best Jedi for the past few hundred years as an apprentice. Like he had the best upside of anybody over the past few hundred years.
Did Dooku say that? I bet Dooku said that.
Right,
Dooku
so
was pretty pretentious.
he also had survived battles that tested both his skill and resolve to the maximum throughout his life multiple times.
That's what a Jedi is.
Yoda later realized just how great and powerful Qui-Gon was after learning more about the Force stuff. He agreed that Qui-Gon was... He underestimated Qui-Gon and that he wasn't actually on the council. He was offered a council.
He refused the
council. Because he was like, I'd rather just follow the Force. I'm a realist.
Kind of like a way seeker.
I'm a Force truthist.
Okay.
He was kind of the way seekers weren't around by then, but he was kind of a way seeker. Just follow the will of the Force, not the council.
His power and ability with a saber compared to only with Mace Windu.
Where you again? You
That came from Mace Windu.
I mean, Mace Windu got yoinked.
Mace, did you say Miss Window?
Yeah. When he got thrown.
Mace Window. He on the regular bested Jedi battle masters in combat. I'd forgotten this because I have seen this movie. I promise. The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
He slapped Darth Maul off a walkway.
Did he like back?
He backhanded
Yeah,
him
yeah.
off a walkway.
Wasn't that like the first walkway or something?
It was like the top, yeah.
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 I didn't know he like slapped. I thought he like pushed him off of it or something.
No, he's
okay.
full slapped him off the thing. He was able to dodge point blank blaster bolts from 5 different soldiers without using a lightsaber. It was said that when he did use his lightsaber to block blaster, no, when it was said when he did use his block to block his. When he did use his lightsaber to block blaster bolts, it was moving as if it was a solid like shield. He was moving so fast.
Whenever you see those, that's very subjective. I don't write those down because that's very subjective of what the person is doing.
Okay, so Hutts are basically you're not supposed to be able to mind trick a Hutt. That came from the Hutt himself when Luke tried to mind trick him.
Yeah.
Not Mace Windu. Qui-Gon Jinn was able to mind trick a Hutt.
Dude, how powerful is Watto? How
Hardcore,
strong,
dude.
Watto.
Watto.
How strong of a resolve does Watto have?
That's the only thing strong he has.
That's it.
Mind tricks do not work on me.
Dude, it's just his greed.
That's
Only money.
That's what's keeping his mind solid, man.
Money.
He's like Mr. Krabs.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
But if Mr. Krabs owned slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is he paying SpongeBob?
Nothing.
No, but
Very little.
SpongeBob's just happy to be there.
Squidward's not happy to be there.
Squidward's not.
Oh my God.
No.
It's more like indentured
Are they slaves?
servitude, but
Yeah.
in all reality.
Mr. Krabs has slaves?
Well, I mean, he pays them, just not a living
Does
wage.
he? It's like sharecropping and indentured servitude.
Yeah, because I mean, I've never actually seen him give money to SpongeBob.
Exactly.
I thought I remember him
Exactly.
talking about the fact that they have a paycheck. It's just very low.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just thinking about
What?
Carl from Phineas.
I always see them like
Carl?
having-
Yeah, he's unpaid, but he's like second in charge of it, basically.
He's an intern.
Yeah, he's an unpaid intern, but he
Yeah.
does like all of the jobs of like the second in command.
That just ruins my entire childhood.
Yeah.
He knew all forms of combat and was adept in all of them. And the best part of his swordsmanship, since he was well known as possibly the best swordsman in the Order for a very long time, never losing to Obi-Wan Kenobi in a fight.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was a Padawan.
Never losing to Obi-Wan Kenobi
Also,
in a fight?
Hayden actually talked about this before we recorded. Obi-Wan. This is Obi-Wan before he changed to Form 3, and while he was still a Padawan. So this is Obi-Wan before he was the duelist.
This last part that I'm about to say is the main reason I think that he can defeat Kylo Ren.
What is it?
He was very good at exploiting and noticing other swordsmen's weaknesses.
So why'd he die?
Because he had no defense.
No.
He was old and he got tired.
Obi-Wan credited it.
It was a long fight.
He did not have... Form 4 that he uses doesn't have defense. A very good defense. That's why Obi-Wan chose to all defense.
Also, Darth Maul was just very well trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had fought before as well.
On Tatooine.
Very
briefly.
Yes. But that was also the first time a Jedi had fought a Sith in, forever.
Qui-Gon was just getting out of there.
Is that a red lightsaber? What the...
Yeah, no. Which, in his position, if you're smart, you'd leave.
I would
First
leave,
person who sees a Sith in 1,000 years.
And the Sith looks like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
It looks like the devil.
He's got horns and he's red.
I would leave too.
I'm out,
He's
dude.
wearing all black in the desert.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck, dude?
Qui-Gon was sweating hard after that first brief fight. Because it's Tatooine. Darth Maul,
he just stood there and he put his hood up.
just turned it off and just walked away. He was probably... It didn't show his face, but he was probably dying.
Do you think he sweats?
Maybe he does.
He definitely gets tired. Because when he fought Ahsoka, Maul and Ahsoka both got tired. Because they were out of practice.
Mm.
So
but Maul, when he at the time of killing Qui-Gon, was in full practice.
I'm gonna say he sweat. I say he sweats.
Does Darth Maul sweat?
I think he sweats.
I don't know. I've never seen him sweat.
I've never seen Zabrak sweat. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to hold the solid no. We can ask Wikipedia. They follow us on Twitter now.
They do. Yo.
They do.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
We should start crediting them because we use them so much.
Main source.
Our main source here is Wikipedia. Go hit them up.
Yeah.
I think I might have accidentally said Wikipedia a couple of times. Wikipedia.
Do the thing.
Qui-Gon. Now, I have Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was
it's you also have Qui-Gon?
This is Qui-Gon versus Qui-Gon.
Oh.
You're fine.
That was terrifying.
I have Kylo Ren. You know his backstory.
Yes,
We
we know a lot
We
about
do.
Kylo Ren. Yes. We also know that he's a sloppy fighter.
No, you don't.
Don't be
That's
rude.
just
Are you saying there's no flaws in his form? He's
saying there's no
flawless?
flaws in Qui-Gon's
Are you
form?
saying? Yeah, but I just said that
Hayden,
Qui-Gon
Hayden.
is very good at seeing
the
mistakes.
You know the take going with him being very sloppy. That mostly comes from people who just want to hate on the sequels.
No,
Because people just want to complain about the lightsaber duels. And they're just
the duel between him and Rey
sloppy.
on what's left of the Death Star.
Starkiller Base. That was him toying with her.
No, the Death Star.
Oh, then yeah.
That one.
In the rain.
That was good.
The rain.
That was a good fight.
Yeah.
Was it the rain one?
Yes.
In the waves.
It wasn't rain. It was waves.
It was just really big waves, so it was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like
where he
that
just
one.
walked through the waves.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
love
a
it.
man.
Loved it.
On
Yeah.
Starkiller Base, he was just toying with her. He didn't expect anything.
But he still got injured, didn't he? All right,
Qui-Gon
but the
took
point
that
is,
fight
the
seriously
point-
and got stabbed in the chest,
point-
didn't he?
The point is, he is not flawless.
Neither's Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon is a well-learned
He's also
Jedi
flawed.
who is very good at exploiting the other fighters' flaws.
If you go on, talking about the powers he has, the Sith powers, and there's second that I said, so he doesn't have he doesn't use lightning, but he does have weather manipulation.
He's not
and
a Sith.
lightning. In
He's
that
not a
way.
Sith.
Yeah, he's a Knight of Ren, different group, but he does control lightning via weather manipulation. He can also freeze people in place, probe their minds, do all of the He's able to reinforce himself with the Force. Did that after getting shot with a bowcaster, which normally throws people 20 feet, but it just kind of brought him to his knees, and they used that.
And then he hit himself.
Yeah, he used that to make himself matter so that he could reinforce himself in the
Feel
fight.
more pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never wound a dark side person.
If you're gonna wound a dark side person, cut them in half.
Yeah, make it to where they won't fight.
Yeah, make it to where they can't fight anymore, because then it'll just make them more mad, and they'll just get more powerful.
Yeah.
So the big thing here, I have a long list of feats.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna go straight to this thing here before we get, if I need to go to the feats and everything. As I said before, Form 4 is lacking defense. I should also mention, Kylo Ren uses a hybrid of Form 4, 5, and 7. He's mostly very offensive. He knows Form 1 extremely well, and he's also very adept at Jarkai. He does a lot of defense. He's just as good with front grip and reverse grip. So the big weakness with Form 4 is it has no defense. And that happened with Qui Gon Jinn. During that point where Qui Gon Jinn gets killed, he was the first Jedi to fight a Sith in 1,000 years. Meaning, same kind of thing applies that happened to the High Republic characters. They haven't seen that many duels.
But he has been in a great many fights.
He knows the technical thing. It's a very set up match with rules. He's been in that thing. There is a bit of a difference in being trained in that and having practical experience in duels. Kylo Ren has spent most of his time in the latter. In very practical sets. Qui-Gon Jinn also got, in all of those like training and everything, the Jedi only used one blade. Because the galaxy is at peace, you don't have to duel people, why would you have to? And using two, Jedi only use more than one blade when they're desperate. In like the Clone Wars, they started using more blades. They only start the lightsaber. Anyway, lightsaber is only supposed to be a symbolic thing or a last resort, so they don't like using it unless they have to. So he only got, during that time there were only one blades. Part of the reason he probably lost them all is because he probably didn't have that much experience with two blades, and that's part of the boost for Maul during his time, because people aren't used to dual-bladed lightsabers at that point. So he's not used to unconventional lightsabers. Kylo Ren uses a old technique from the Old Republic with his cruciform lightsaber. So he has an unorthodox lightsaber. Qui-Gon Jinn has a form that does not have a very good defense, and Kylo Ren is a very offensive form, and his defense consists of counterattacks. And a lot of strength, which he, using his anger, which is just pure anger, he's able to reinforce himself and strengthen himself.
Okay.
I should also point out here, Qui-Gon Jinn saw Anakin Skywalker as the most powerful person.
Anakin what?
Skywalker.
Sidewalker.
He saw him and it was immediately like, oh my god, this guy's the chosen one. Qui-Gon Jinn's the one that recognized him as the chosen one for his power.
So this is all Qui-Gon Jinn's fault.
It kind of, in a very indirect.
Well,
he
I
had
would
the
also
best
like to point out that
intentions.
Palpatine was worried about Qui-Gon Jinn. That's why he had him killed.
Yeah, kind of. Should have been worried about Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah. But he was worried about Qui-Gon Jinn. That's why he had him killed.
Makes sense.
Also, Hayden brought up he was aging during that fight. The most evidence we have of Qui-Gon Jinn is when he was aging. It's kind of like pulling up Dooku. We don't have much information on them when they were younger.
Dooku was still Dooku.
Yeah, he was. They were still a great duelist, but they weren't in their prime anymore. Kylo Ren is in his prime. But again, chosen one thing. Again, Kylo Ren is his grandson. He's part of a dyad, so he's just as powerful, if not more powerful than Anakin.
Yeah. What did you just say?
Just as powerful, if not more powerful than Anakin.
That's on record.
Okay.
Oh, hey. You wouldn't have to fight him.
Yeah. Even though he did idolize Darth Vader. Which is, that's a red flag.
Other than that, he has been able to basically catch lightsabers in the air. using his Force power. Like when he used Rey's, when he and Rey caught each other's lightsabers with the Force. And he's able to freeze plasma in the air with blaster bolts and lightsabers. So that takes an incredible amount of power. And it's also something Qui Gon Jinn has never seen before.
Qui Gon Jinn can meditate and stop his heart so that he's undetectable.
Okay.
This isn't a stealth fight.
Yeah, no,
This isn't a great position for a stealth.
you tried though.
For the first Jedi to die at the hands of a Sith in over 200 years, it's not great that he's fighting a person like Kylo Ren. Especially since he died on camera.
Yeah.
I was also going to say he's at the front part of that. Kylo Ren's at the back part of like the 60 years of just complete conflict. Where duels all the time.
I mean, he wasn't dueling as much as
40 years.
He wasn't dueling as much.
67 years.
He wasn't dueling as much as Obi-Wan in like the
No,
Clone
not as
War
much as the
people.
Clone Wars. But he did
Or
duel
even
regularly.
Luke.
He had to like put the other Knights of Ren in their place.
Yeah, he had to tell them who was boss. I'm so tired.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Do you have a verdict?
Yes. Kylo.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Angsty boy.
I did some of my comments earlier
So angsty.
did sound a bit anti Qui-Gon. I love Qui-Gon.
I
do. He's not my favorite
He's a
Jedi.
great
Obi-Wan's
guy.
my favorite Jedi from that, and Plo Koon from that era. But Qui-Gon is. I do love the ideology of Qui-Gon.
I'm alright.
It's not an ideology
not,
I
like, a
have, but I
massive
do
fan.
love the ideology.
I'm not a massive fan of Qui-Gon.
I think he's a nice guy.
I think he was foolish.
Part of my love of Qui-Gon is probably fueled by my love for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I could see
So
It's the coaching tree thing.
yeah, it is.
that. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's it for that was quick. That was our quickest one of this round. That's our quickest one of the season.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Aaron, who do we have next?
Next we have
Week. Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, no. Next week we have Exar Kun versus Cognis.
Ooh.
Darth Malgus versus Din Djarin.
Ooh.
Darth Traya versus Ezra Bridger.
Ooh.
And Rey Skywalker versus Cal Kestis.
Oh. So yeah, just tune in next week. And then after that we'll be able to make more matchups.
Yeah.
For the round of 32.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Have
See
a
y'all
good
next
week.
Bye.
Follow us on the socials.
Yeah.
Like our stuff.
Go
Yeah.
do some deep
Please.
dives on
Talk
Wikipedia.
to us.
I'm
in the
trying.
Comments. Tell us things in the comments.
Yeah,
or just
comment,
leave, like, red
like,
hearts, please.
subscribe. Please don't dislike. That would be rude.
I mean, but like,
And
you know.
that's the most disappointing thing is when you get a dislike on a video.
That's true.
It's like, what did I do wrong?
everything. Anyway, turn on the
Hopefully it
notification
was just a
bell
bot.
so you know when we post. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. Follow us on TikTok. Apparently, we're doing well on TikTok, too.
We're all right.
She's pulling the humility
Jeez.
move.
All right. Well, we'll see you next
Get
week.
us stuff on TikTok.
See you next week.
See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.